circuit, and the man who leads them onto the track is the man who has won the Winter Cup. He's been quickest all weekend so far long. Jordan Brown-Nutley is going to start the first of 2 formation laps here today. Before we take you through the grid, we've had one spin already who's binned it on the formation lap before they've even got to the line, unfortunately. That is 247, which is the kart of Hugo Anderson. So a little bit humiliating, but he's now on his way to dragging that kart to the track once more. As more spinners on their way through the likes of turns 3 and 4, but the grid is as follows. After qualifying yesterday, everyone added together, and this is going to be Groups A against Group B. So we're going to have Jordan Brown-Nutley on pole position in kart 205. He starts alongside fellow Brit 300's Jonathan Hoggard. On row 2 we then see Hans Morin with Sarazan Arnoux, the Swede and the French on row number 2. Row 3 then lines up with Baptiste Moulon with Alessandro Massimo Trombelli, followed on row 4 by Zumba Kovacs and Volta Saavedras. Row 5 for the seniors is going to be Laurie Lepper with Robert Kindervata. Row 6 lines up with Felix Vargay, local lad, with Andre Volta. And then on to row number 7 is going to be Daniel Nedagovsky with Harrison Thomas from Great Britain. Row 8 then sees Hugo Anderson, the first of our spinners out there on circuit, with Scott Simmons alongside. Row 9 lines up with Champion Rudy and Bastien Cochet, and row 10 is going to be that of Valikan Leide and Matilda Olsen to round out the 20 karts on grid for this one. So these are the ones that qualified 1st, 2nd, 5th and 6th, 9th and 10th and so on and so forth, all put into their different groups. One slowing towards the back for some reason. Not too sure if they're still trying to warm their tyres up, but that is the machine of Champion Rudy by the looks of it, who have just had a slight mistake as well. Someone else who's trying to play catch up, as we said, the spinner on the start of the formation lap, 247 Hugo Anderson. He should just about get there because he's working his way through the first corner, and the leaders are on their way down the back straight. I think Jonathan Hoggard's had a moment as well because he's now just got himself back onto the front row, so he may have had a little bit of an excursion off the track. He's worked his way through though, which is good to see, and Hugo Anderson is almost there, just coming through turn 5 now. On towards the back straight he goes, and everyone towards the front of the field will now be slowed right down before we get this race underway. Slightly increased compared to the Minimax and the juniors. We're now up to 11 laps for the seniors. As I said, a slight drying line just about on circuit, but it's going to be hard to find, especially with the rain we've had around about an hour ago that fell on the circuit. But if they can find it, they should be in good stead. I don't think anyone's gone for the brave move of slick tyres. I think they've all gone for the grooved tyres of the wets. Can't quite see from this point on track, but looks like they're all there on all wet tyres, unless anyone's taken a gamble towards the back. But we're now set to go. Hugo Anderson still not quite with them, just trying to catch them. In fact, he might be now. I've just got there, I think. So we are good to go with everyone on track, ready to get this senior heat underway then. A versus B as they come up towards the line. 11 laps of racing gets underway now as they head down towards the first corner. It's Jordan Brown-Nutley being pushed from behind there. Hans Morin trying to get through. They'll all skirt their way into the first corner. Jordan being pushed wide. There's people diving down the inside line as they run 3 wide through the first couple of corners. They're all going to sort themselves out into some sort of formation, but the main target for all of these is not to break away and leave Jordan Brown-Nutley out front on his own as they turn their way off on towards the hairpin at turn 5 for the first time. Jonathan Hoggard looking for a move on Jordan Brown-Nutley. He's been caught out. He runs wide. He loses the lead of the race. He loses second as well as they head down the back straight for the first occasion. It's now Hoggard that leads. Second place is going to be into the corner there, possibly the machine of Sarazan Arnoux in kart 218 as they venture their way through. Yep, he's up into second. Third place now for Jordan Brown-Nutley as they work their way through the hairpin at turn number 8, and has everyone else safely made it through? I think they have. So a great job they are doing as Jonathan Hoggard works his way down towards the end of this first lap. As we said, up into second place has gone Sarazan Arnoux, the Frenchman. Third place then is going to be Jordan Brown-Nutley. Work to do from there. He's got great power though through the left-hander at turn number 10. He works his way in towards the final corner. Can he get through on towards the start-finish line? No, he can't, which means Jonathan Hoggard now has an increased margin out front. As lap 1 is completed, Hoggard leads Arnoux by 1.6 seconds. That is quite big for the senior category, but Jordan Brown-Nutley is now through. Into second place he goes. So Jordan on his way, carving now back through the field, gets past Sarazan Arnoux Baptiste Moulin is there in 4th place. Laurie Lepper completes lap 1 in 5th. And then you've got Zumba Kovac 6th, Hans Morin 7th. Kindervarta is 8th, Trombelli is 9th, and Vargey is in 10th place as they come through. So Felix Vargey has made up 1 position, not as many as we'd have thought, but he is on his way through, which is good for the local lad. Jonathan Hoggard now on his way towards the halfway stage of this second lap, now pushing on to try and keep his gap over Jordan Brown-Nutley, which probably won't last too long, to be fair. It's already been cut in sector 1. He's now going to try and bring it down in sector 2 as well, as they work their way on towards the grandstand part of this circuit. Great viewing point here at the Genk track, because you can see over the whole track apart from the last corner, so you do get a good vantage point from the grandstand. Good fight going on a little bit further back at the minute between 242 and 247. That is Hans Morin and teammate behind him, Hugo Anderson. Great start from Hugo after that little bit of a mistake earlier on. He's now up into what's going to be 10th, is it? Or a little bit further back. Yeah, 10th place for Hugo Anderson. So many more places now being gained by Hugo, the Swede, on the back now of his teammate. We have lost one, by the way, which I did pick up on. That is 260, who has dropped down. That is champion Rudy, who had problems by the looks of it on the formation lap, so he is now with problems. There's more yellow flags up towards the hairpin for some reason. Not too sure who we lost there. Is that Jonathan Hoggard who's made a mistake? It is, yes. So our leader, Jonathan Hoggard, has been off, so apologies there, but he's dropped now down into 3rd place, which has gifted the lead of the race to Jordan Brown-Nutley. So a massive mistake from Hoggard, who was leading by 1.4 seconds. He's now got loads of work to do to try and rekindle at least a good finish in this one. He's under attack at the minute from 231, which is Baptiste Moulin, trying to get round the outside in towards the right-hander at turn 9. Not too sure what happened to Jonathan. Maybe just ran off wide at the hairpin down through turn 5. That's where the yellow flags were coming from. So that's what I reckon has happened. Jordan Brown-Nutley now leads this lap by, again, a very big margin over our new 2nd place man, which is Saracen Arnu. Through he goes on towards the first corner. Gap is out to 1.9 seconds, and the quickest man on circuit is there, Jordan Brown-Nutley, at 1:15.153. Arnu still 2nd, Hoggard 3rd, and 4th is still Moulin, as they turn their way through the left-hander at turn 4. You can see the order on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see who's making places up on the present lap. One of those has been Hugo Anderson, now up into 9th place, so he's passed his teammate Hans Morin. Those two have switched around, and also Scott Simmons has made up a few places as well. Zumba Kovac's dropping back on this lap. He's now down into 8th position because Kindervarta and Felix Vargey have both gone through. So Vargey now starting to make up a few more places. Started down in 11th place, as we said, so 4 gained already for Felix. There comes our race leader Jordan Brown-Nutley. You can see again the left rear wheel just jumping off the track there as they head their way through turn 10. Brown-Nutley's gap, is it increasing? I think it is, yeah, already at sectors 1 and 2. It's out to just over 2.5 seconds. So Nutley completes another lap now. On to lap number 5 we go. Arnu still there in 2nd, now 2.5 seconds back almost. And again, Jordan Brown-Nutley is the quickest man on circuit, 1:15.078. He's brought that down to 2nd and 3rd, a little bit closer at the minute. Is Jonathan any quicker? No, he's about 1/10 of a second slower than Saracen Arnu. Baptiste Moulin still going well, not as quick as the 2nd and 3rd place men, but is keeping on their tail. Slight adjustment there from Jordan Brown-Nutley as he hits the brakes off the back straight. Down through turn 6 he goes. Working well in the sunshine now here in Belgium, but I think there's more rain on the horizon. Darker clouds starting to emerge from the direction of the wind, which means it could just unsettle the next category on track. Just as we get towards the slight drying line here, there goes Jordan through then the right-hander at turn number 9. Coming down towards the completion of this lap, which is going to be not far off half race distance. So lap 5 now has been completed by Jordan Brown-Nutley, who almost leads by 3 seconds on this occasion. He may just get 3 seconds in hand by the time they cross the start-finish line. Saracen Arnu goes through, and it's out to 2.9 seconds in fact. 3rd place still Jonathan Hoggard. 4th place now a little bit distant is Baptiste Moulin. 5th place is Felix Varga, so gradually he's working his way through. Felix may get to the ones ahead of him before the race comes to an end here. So Felix doing some really good laps. He's just done his personal best, which is a 1:15.603, which is quicker than Baptiste Moulin ahead. Not quite as quick as Jordan Brown-Nutley, Sarrazin Arnoux and Jonathan Hoggard, but if he can get a little bit more clear track here, Felix Vargey could be on his way. Behind them, good fight going on for 6th place between Laurie Lepper, Kindervarta, Kovacs and Hugo Anderson now into 9th place. Hans Morin has dropped more places. He's now fallen behind the two Brits, which are Harrison Thomas and Scott Simmons. Those two just on the fringes of the top 10. Great shot there again of Jordan Brown-Nutley, just shows how hard he's working. Right insight into the face there of Jordan. No dark visors being worn in this race, of course, because there's no sunshine to worry about. That was the fight, by the way, between Laurie Lepper in 2:27 and Kindervarta, and also Kovacs was on the tail of them. As we now head on to lap number 7 for our leader Jordan Brown-Nutley. Down towards the first turn he goes once more, threading his way through the tight and twisty first couple of corners. There is still 2nd place for Sarrazin Arnoux, and 3rd place Jonathan Hoggard. Good last sector on that last lap from Sarrazin Arnoux, best of anyone in fact, brings the gap to a steady 2.9 seconds between the top two. He was on par with Jordan Brown-Nutley that last time round. What was Felix Varga doing? Again, quicker than Baptiste Moulin. Can he catch up here on this lap? Well, he's still a good 3 seconds back from Baptiste Moulin, so it's going to be hard work now for Felix Varga to get to our 4th place man before the race comes to its conclusion. We're now working our way through this lap number 7. 2nd and 3rd pretty close here. Hoggard starting to gain, and he's just done so through sector 2 there. Best sector of anyone in this race. He's clawed back 0.3 of a second as Jonathan Hoggard, so let's see what he can do now as he powers his way down towards the final turn. Hoggard will be looking for a move before too much longer, as skating wide slightly there was our 2nd place man Sarrazin Arnoux. They go on to another lap. Meantime, the fight behind continues here between Laurie Lepper. You've got Kindervarta in there as well. Who else is in the mix? Zumba Kovacs, Hugo Anderson, as they power their way through. There is Hugo Anderson in cart 247. I think he's passed now both Laurie Lepper and Zumba Kovacs. So a great lap there from Hugo Anderson. As I said, the embarrassment of the formation lap where he threw it off the track has now been put way behind him. The red mist, I'm sure, set in, but he's now making up some great places. He's made 8 up since the start of this race, so 8 positions gained for Hugo Anderson. Laurie Lepper now down to 8th, Zumba Kovacs to 9th, and Harrison Thomas into 10th position. They'll work their way through the hairpin at turn 5, side by side for those 4 carts as they power down through. Here is Jordan Brown-Nutley, by the way, on lap number 8 at the minute. Leads now by 3.6 seconds at the end of sector 2. 3.4, sorry, it's now just come down to, as a warning flag goes out to Valak and Leidy. There is 2nd and 3rd then. Arnoux and Hoggard. Is Hoggard any closer? Well, the lap that we just started was 0.7 of a second, and it's exactly the same through sector 2 as well. So no change between 2nd and 3rd as they cross the line for the 8th time of asking. There is the black and white flag being shown by the officials down on the start finish line to Leidy, who is down in... He's outside the top 20 by the looks of it, so Leidy will be shown that flag for a warning. Brown-Nutley has just gone and done another quickest lap as a spin there for 2:26. That is the cart of Harrison Thomas, who now drops out of what was 10th place, wasn't it? So Harrison Thomas drops right down the order to 15th place. Black and white flag, by the way, is a warning flag, just in case you're not aware of that. And you just saw there as well our 2nd place man, Sarrazin Arnoux, now searching for the wet part of the track. So it's drying up nicely online, but to keep these tyres in a cool condition and to keep them working to the best of their abilities, the driver's now starting to search for the wet conditions. So they'll stay to the left of the track down towards turn 9. Jordan Brown-Nutley is doing well, still extending the gap out front to now 3.8 seconds. I think Sarrazin Arnoux may just have enough in hand here as well as they come down towards the final turn. Brown-Nutley powers his way through once more. Can he go and do another quickest lap of the race? Yes, he can. A 1:14.628 now for Jordan Brown-Nutley. It extends the margin to 3.7 seconds on this occasion. Side by side down towards the final turn there is going to be 224 by the looks of it, which is 227 Laurie Lepper with Scott Simmons in there as well. He's now made up a place, in fact, on Laurie Lepper as Zumba Kovacs is on the towel down towards the first turn. They're pushing each other as they head through the first corner. The one that's got away is Scott Simmons. The two that are fighting are Laurie Lepper and Zumba Kovacs. Through the left-hander at turn 2 and 3 they go, powering towards the back straight. Zumba Kovacs going for the inside line, which is going to get done surely, but no, again, more grip on the outside there from Laurie Lepper, so he now holds on to the place as they work their way on towards the back straight for the penultimate time, because lap number 10 soon to be completed, and Jordan Brown-Nutley looking to be on top once more. 3 practice sessions we had yesterday, he was top of all of those. Qualifying, he was of course the quickest man. Heat number 1 looks like he's going to be the first winner of the day as well within the senior class. This is of course the toughest out there because it's class A against class B, the ones that went the quickest and got split after qualifying. As we now head on to the final lap here in Belgium, down towards the first corner goes Jordan Brown-Nutley, leads by another increased margin. We're out to 4.2 seconds, and in fact the gap between second and third has also grown as well. The pace hasn't continued for Jonathan Hoggard. It's now 1.3 between him and Saracen Arnu. Another quickest lap you just saw there from Jordan at 1:14.251, so the conditions still perfect for Jordan to go even quicker as he heads off the back straight down towards turn 6. Again, you can see all the drivers now searching for the wet conditions. Behind the top 3, still 4th place for Baptiste Moulin. Felix Vargay has closed down that gap now. It's down to 1.8 seconds, so he's almost halved it, but he's just going to run out of time on this last lap, unfortunately. Kindervarter is 6th, Anderson 7th, Scott Simmons is still 8th, just ahead of the fighting Zumba Kovacs and Laurie Lepper, who's now fallen just over half a second adrift of our 9th place man. But for the time being, down towards the final corner is going to come Jordan Brown-Nutley, winner of the Winter Cup, and he's going to win the opening heat here on day number 2 of the first round. Through he comes. Jordan Brown-Nutley takes the checker flag in what again is dominant fashion. He's going to win by 4.2 seconds ahead of Saracen Arnu. Third place goes the way of Jonathan Hoggard, early race leader of course, but made a very crucial mistake over at turn number 5. We'll try and catch up on what happened to Jonathan Hoggard. See if Jen can grab a word with Jonathan to see what his problems were through that race. Third place, as I said, to Jonathan. 4th place then to Baptiste Moulin. 5th place to Felix Vargay. 6th place was Kindervarter. 7th place went to Hugo Anderson. 8th place was Scott Simmons. 9th place for Zumba Kovacs. And 10th place to Laurie Lepper.